Hello and welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're continuing to try to catch up on puzzles that have been recommended during my holidays. So I've been on holiday for the last couple of weeks, and this puzzle, which is by Rosie, has got lots of recommendations. It's called Feeling Rough. You can see it's Fog of War, which is lovely, but it's also it looks like Phistomefel to me at first blush. I have had a quick read of the rules before I turned on the webcam, and they're pretty amazing, actually. It's pretty amazing. I haven't quite got my head around the implications of the rules. There's a slight twist on the normal circles rule. But anyway, a couple of the people who wrote in about this one eulogized about it and said it's so brilliant. So I'm looking forward to having a go at it, and we'll read the rules together in a moment or two's time. Couple of things to mention before we kick off today. Firstly, we are streaming tonight. There was a little hiatus last week while I was away, but we're back playing a game called The Artisan of Glimeth, and we'd love to have your company if you're free, so do join us at 10 p.m. UK time. I will try and remember to put a link on the screen. Other than that, over on Patreon, there are solution videos up for our monthly reward for this month, but it's only a few days till the start of August, isn't it? And start of August means there's a new Patreon reward incoming, so do get ready for that. And we'll have the winner for this month's reward very soon. Mark hasn't actually told me the name yet. I rely on him to do the random number generation, which pulls the name out of all those of you, and there were over 1,000 who managed to finish all of the puzzles. But we'll have the winner, and we'll announce that very soon on the channel. Now, other than that, let me look. I've been catching up on birthdays, so I'm still a few of these are late, and I do apologise if I did miss your birthday on the proper day. But we're going to start off not with a birthday, but with a dedication. I'm going to dedicate this video to one of our viewers' cats, Elizabeth's cat. Calalock was the full name of Elizabeth's cat. And unfortunately, about a year ago, Elizabeth's cat passed away, had to be put down because it became ill. But Elizabeth sent me the most wonderful email about how, let me try and show you this. How Calalock used to watch, it sounds crazy, but used to watch the videos. Is it that one? No, oh no, I must have got it. There we go. Now, well, look, I can actually show you this. And if you watch Calalock's tail, look, she's not looking at a mouse or anything. Oh, hang on. I think we can do better than this. I think I can. Hang on, let me just try and do this. I can do better. Let me try and show you. I'm gonna play that again. Maverick's flying over, but it's the tail that got me. Look at that swishing tail. That is a cat that is enjoying watching a Sudoku video. That's what I'm claiming, anyway. And so anyway, that's a very nice thing that I had from Elizabeth. I am sorry you lost Calalock, but we'll dedicate this video to Calalock, and who knows how much of these videos are actually understood by our pets. But we do hear about pets watching videos with their pet owners, and apparently enjoying them. So there we go. Next, let's do other birthdays. Emily, your boyfriend Jake wrote to me and said, could I wish you a happy birthday? I'm afraid I am really late with this one. July the 19th was the date. So Emily, I hope you managed to find some chocolate cake that day. Many happy returns. Next, is it Shell? Is that how you pronounce the name? Over there in Germany, Pia wrote to me, and it was your birthday yesterday, and I've missed the day, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. But when I'm catching up with the emails, I've even missed recent emails, which is poor, I know. But I'm almost there now in terms of catching up. Mr. Menace, who many of you will know if you've been watching the channel for a while, Mr. Menace has made many brilliant puzzles that we've solved on the channel over the years. Mr. Menace is turning the big 40 today, so happy birthday, Mr. Menace. I know it's your birthday because your good friend Mark wrote to me, and Mark told me that Mr. Menace's real life name is K, and K got Mark into variant Sudoku and into cracking the cryptic before Mr. Menace even existed, if you see what I mean, before K started to set. So happy birthday for today, Mr. Menace. I hope you find some heavily iced chocolate cake. Next, Paul, your wife Sarah wrote to me over there in New York to tell me you're turning 36 today. Paul's nickname? Goliath, on account of his immense tallness, and been watching for 6 years. That's incredible. And Sarah has assured me, Paul, that she is sorting out the chocolate cake for today, so I hope it is heavily iced, of course. And last but not least, this is for yesterday, so I'm a day late, hopefully not $1 short. Sophie, you turned 26, and I know this because your wife Harry wrote to me to say, could we wish you happy birthday? I am told you are a very good solver, Sophie, and you've done all of the Patreon packs this year, so that's quality. Sophie, I hope you had a great birthday, and I hope the chocolate cake was very fine. That's all the news, I think. Shall we do some solving together? What do we have to do if we're going to correctly solve Feeling Rough by Rosie? Let's read the rules together. We have got, looks like normal Sudoku. Yeah, it's normal Sudoku rules. So we've got to place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. The grid is partially covered in fog. Placing a correct digit might clear some of the fog somewhere in the grid. No guessing is required. So these fog of war puzzles are absolutely brilliant because the constructors make them so we can logically deduce something about the grid from what we can see in it. So don't go to this cell and put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 in, because inevitably one of those might be right and it might clear the fog. That there will be an intended order to fog clearance, and our job is to find it logically. Circles. Now this rule is mental. So a digit in a circle indicates roughly how many circles contain that digit, i.e. X in a circle indicates that X appears in either X plus 1 or X minus 1 circles, but not in exactly X circles. All circles are visible, i.e. no circles are hidden behind fog. So let's just understand what that means. I can't actually put a big digit in there in case it turns out to be right, but let's put a 5 in there. What is that actually doing? So that's saying that either, so it's saying either the digit 5 appears 4 times in circles or 6 times in circles. That is weird. Okay, but I think that is what it means. Now, there's not many more rules. Entropy. Orthogonally adjacent circles must have different entropy, i.e. a digit from a different set. So the sets being the 1, 2, 3 digits, the 4, 5, 6 digits, and the 7, 8, 9 digits. So if this digit was a 4, 5, 6 digit, then this digit could not be a 4, 5, 6 digit. It would have to be either a 1, 2, 3 or a 7, 8, 9 in order to be of different entropy to the digit that it shares an edge with. Orthogonally adjacent means shares an edge with. And if this was a 1, 2, 3, then neither of those could be 1, 2, 3. If this was 7, 8, 9, neither of these could be 7, 8, 9, etc. And arrows. Digits along an arrow sum to the digit in the attached circle. I can't see any arrow. Oh, I can a bit. There is some. Oh, there's something. Look at this cell. Oh, goodness. Look at this cell here. The west side of this circle seems to have a line coming out of it, so there might be an arrow going that way. Oh, yes, look at that. The east side of that circle. The west side of that circle. The north side of that circle. The south side of that circle. Okay, so there are circles that have arrows emanating from them. So let's do an example then, try and explain. So let's say that these 3 digits or that, let's say that when we clear the fog, these 3 digits form the arrow emanating from this circle, and let's say this was 1, this was 2, and this was 3, then we'd fill 6 into the circle, because 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. That is how arrows work. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Let me just check that the recording looks like it's working. I think it is. So I don't really want to think about this. I'm going to have to, though, aren't I? Well, hang on. Because the other thing I think I ought to be thinking about is Phistomefel. Because there's this theory that exists in Sudoku. Is it a theorem? I think it probably is a theorem, which says that that's not going to work. It says that the 4 in this is true for any Sudoku puzzle. The 4 2. Oh, that's weird. Oh, I know why. It's because these are arrows. These have got arrows pointing out at. So in the software must put the circle at a different level to the shading compared to a normal circle. Oh, that's bizarre. But anyway, those 16 cells there. This is true for any Sudoku. These 16 cells will be the same digits as those 16 cells that surround the central 3x3 box. You can see if you actually count them, you'll find that there are 16 green cells there. So you can do this on the back of your newspaper when you've finished your commute and you're looking at a completed Sudoku. You can just tick off. You'll find that these digits are exactly the same as the 2x2s in the corner. Now, that's doing something, isn't it, for these circles? Because what that's meaning, I will prove this as well if I need to do the puzzle. But what that means is that there's sort of an even number of any digit. Sorry, let me just try and think about what this means. What it means is that those cells in the grid. Imagine there was a 4. Well, there has to be imagine 4 appeared in one of those circles, then it would have to appear in an even number of those circles. Because every time 4 appeared in these cells, it would have to be duplicated in the central, in this ring. So if 4 appeared once in purple, it would appear once in indigo. So overall, in the circles excluding this circle in the center, it would appear an even number of times. So this digit, whatever we put in the middle of the puzzle, there's going to be an odd number of appearances of it in the circles. So that means that the digit in the middle of the puzzle is even. This is completely balmy. I think it's even. Because whatever that digit is, let's say it was a 5 for a moment. Yeah, it can't be a 5. It can't be a 5. Because if it was a 5, I'm so confident it's not a 5. I'm actually going to write 5 as a big number in. I don't think it can be a 5. Because if it was a 5, we would be saying that the digit 5 appeared either 4 or 6 times in circles. But we know that whenever we put a 5 into purple, it will be duplicated in indigo. So the number of 5s that appear in purple and indigo combined is even, plus this makes an odd number of 5s in the grid. But it can't be an odd number of 5s in the grid because we're not allowed to have an odd number of 5s. If you put 5 in a circle, it has to appear an even number of times, 4 or 6 in the circles. So that central digit is 2, 4, 6 or 8. And say it was a 2. If it was a 2, then the 2 is appearing 1 or 3 times in circles. So maybe it's a 2, and it's the only appearance of a 2 in a circle. How many? We've got 33 circles to fill. And I'm conscious I still haven't... I think I am going to have to prove Phistomefel, aren't I? Because I'm already starting to think in terms of the fact that I must have an even number of digits, or an even number of instances of any circled digit in the purple plus the indigo. So let me just quickly prove Phistomefel and show you why that must be true. The way to prove it is to highlight some cells. Apologies if you've seen this proof before, but I don't really get tired of doing it. So let's highlight those cells. And the crucial thing to get your head around is that these cells I've just highlighted, I can describe their contents absolutely precisely, because these indigo cells consist of the whole of row 3, the whole of row 7, the whole of box 4, and the whole of box 6. And we know, of course, the contents of a box in Sudoku is the digits 1 to 9. The contents of a row in Sudoku is the digits 1 to 9. So these indigo cells altogether will have 4-digit 1s, 4-digit 2s, 4-digit 3s, all the way through up to 4-digit 8s, 4-digit 9s. There's going to be 4 of every digit in indigo. Now, let's highlight some cells in purple. I'm going to highlight those cells in purple. And you can see this is 4 complete columns of the Sudoku. So what in purple, overall, in all of the purple cells, what are they going to be? Well, there's obviously going to be 4-digit 1s, 4-digit 2s, 4-digit 3s, etc., up to 4-digit 9s. So the contents of the purple cells overall is utterly identical to the contents of the indigo cells overall. Now, this is the hard thing to get your head around, but once you've got your head around it, you'll really understand set theory in Sudoku. I want to imagine that now I remove this digit from the set of purples and the set of indigos. What can we say about what remains in purple and what remains in indigo? We knew before we removed this cell from purple and indigo, the 2 sets of digits were identical. The overall set of indigo was exactly the same as the overall set of purple. And if I remove the same thing, and this cell, obviously it's in indigo and it's in purple, so if I remove it from both sets, clearly what remains in indigo and what remains in purple must still be the same. We can no longer say it's 4 sets of the digits 1 through 9 because we don't know what's in this cell. It doesn't matter what's in this cell. We simply know that overall purple and overall indigo remains the same, and we can do that for all cells that have 2 colours in them. We'll remove all of them from the set of indigo and the set of purple, and we reach the Phistomefelian ring, the Phistomefel ring, named after the constructor Phistomefel, who discovered it. Now, I can't just have a video in which I say, now. How now, brown cow? That's what my father always used to try to make me say in order to improve my elocution. How now, brown cow? And I would get into trouble for not rolling the R on brown properly. Now. Okay, so I've worked out the middle digit is even. And yeah, okay, here's an interesting thought. Don't mock me. I'm very much aware I'm not an interesting man, but I think this is an interesting thought. Whatever this digit is in the middle, it's the only even digit in all the circles, isn't it? Because let's say this was a 4, and then I tried to write a 6 into this circle. That could not be correct. Because this being a 4 and this being a 6, the 6 needs to appear an odd number of times in circles. Because it's either appearing 5 or 7 times in circles. But it only has availability in the Phistomefel ring and the corners, which we know contain an even number of instances of any digit. So if this was 6, it would appear, yeah, and that's an interesting way to think about it. If this is a 6, and this was a 4, you could do something like put 3 6s in the corners and 3 6s in the ring, but you couldn't put an odd number of 6s in the purple plus the indigo cell, so it just wouldn't work. So the so the only even digit appearing in any circle is the central digit. Yet we have to fill 33 circles altogether. I suspect this is going to mean the central digit is an 8, but we have to just think that through. So if you put a 9 in a circle, but it couldn't appear 10 times in circles, that's not going to work, because there are only 9 9s in any Sudoku puzzle. So there are not 10 of them, because we can only put 1 in each row and column and box. So if we do write 9 in a circle, it's going to appear 8 times in circles. But then if we put 7 in a circle, it could appear 8 times in a circle. Right, so the odd digits, in terms of the number of circles that the odd digits could use, a 9, let's just do this as an aid memoir. So a 9 could appear 8 times, a 7 could appear 8 times, a 5 could appear 6 times, a 3 could appear 4 times, and a 1 could appear twice. That's the maximum for the odd digits, these digits here. So that's 28. That's the sum of those. So 28 plus this. So if that's an 8, it could appear 9 times. That's annoying. So that is not where the equilibrium lies, because if that's an 8 and that appears there overall 9 times in circles, then the maximum is now 37 circles. Yet I've got 33 circles to play with. Okay, all right, but even if this is an 8 and it appears the most number of times it could, which would be 9, well, you must you have to have. If 9 was not a circle digit in this puzzle, it doesn't work, because you'd lose this. So your maximum size of the maximum number of circles that could be occupied by odd digits would be 20. 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2. Even plus 9 from here would be 29. That doesn't work. So right. So there is definitely a 9 in the puzzle. Definitely. In certain, I mean, I know there's a 9 in the puzzle. I know there are 9 9s in the puzzle, but actually I'm going to tell you there are 8 9s in circles. That is forced. Now, I think we might need 7s as well. If 7, but the thing is, the 7 might not have to appear 8 times. But okay, it must be the same logic. Imagine the 7 is just never in a circle. Then I'm back to my count of 20. I've got 8 plus this could appear 6 times, this could appear 4 times. So again, I'm at 20 plus 9 maximum is not equal to 33. So they... Okay, let's change that to a 6, because that could be a 6. It's definitely true to say that 7 appears in circles. It might not be true it appears 8 times in circles. Maybe it appears 6. Because if it appeared 6, 8 plus 6 is 14, plus 12 is 26. And I have to get to 30. Yeah, that's fine. I can easily do that. So it's in, but I don't know how many times it's in. Now, what about this then? If there's no 5 in a circle at all, then the maximum would be 8 plus 8, so 22. That's not enough again. It's not enough. 22 plus 9 is 31. It's not enough. So these are in as well. But again, I don't know whether this is appearing 4 or 6 times. And 3, if that wasn't in, it's going to work, isn't it? Because we could go 8, 8, 6, and 2, which is 24. And if that was an 8 in the middle and it appeared 9 times, we would be happy. So this is ambiguous. We don't know whether 3 appears. We definitely don't know whether 1 appears in circles. But we do know 9, 7, and 5 appear. Now can this be low then? If all of those appeared, 28. So we definitely need this digit to contribute to 5 circles minimum. So it could be a 4, but it can't be a 2. So this is tricky. It's very difficult, this. I don't know how to find the equilibrium. I think the only number I'm really confident about is 9, because 9 can't have 10 circles. I missed a rule. There's the entropy rule and the arrow, but it can't be the arrows. We simply don't know where they go. The entropy rule can't have digits from the same entropy next to each other. Oh dear. I can't. I don't know who that is calling me, but I'm wondering if I ought to pick it up. I don't want to. I'll put it to voicemail. I'll press that. Oh no, that didn't go to voicemail. How do I make the phone go away? Okay, I don't know how to do it. I'll get distracted if I pick up a phone call in the middle of the video. As Maverick flies over, very low again, and of another beautiful day here. Oh yeah, I was thinking about the entropy rule. So the entropy rule... Yeah, okay. Yeah. Right. So let's just think about 9 for a moment, because it might mean this can't be 8, and it might even do something with 7s, because we have deduced that there are 8 circled 9s in the puzzle, and we know the middle digit is not a circled 9. So the only way you can put 8 of a digit into the purple plus the indigo is to have 4 9s in the corners, so that you have 4 9s in the ring. But the 4 9s in the ring are going to be in those cells, aren't they? Because they can't be in the corners of the ring, because that would prevent 9 from going in the respective purple section, purple 2x2 in that corner. So now, if you were to have 9 8s, or even 7, maybe not so. You had 7 8s. Oh, okay, let me do this. I don't know what the answer to this is, but I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to ask how many high entropy digits you can have in the indigo section of the puzzle. Because, like, you could make that a 7, couldn't you? But then neither of those two digits could be a 7, 8, or a 9. So the best you're going to do is you could put high entropy digits into that number by oscillating them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can have eight high entropy digits maximum in the ring. And we know that we've got 4 in the ring already, so I can only have 4 more. But I've got to have some 7s. Because I know 7 is a digit that's appearing in a circle. I just don't know how many times it appears. Even if it only appears 6 times, it's still got to then appear 3 times. Ah, that's it. That's it. So this is telling us that 8 isn't here, I think. I think it is. Yeah. What I know 7 is appearing some number of times in indigo, and that number of times in indigo is either 3 or 4, depending on whether it appears overall 6 or 8 times. Now, given that we've got these 9s already, and given that we can't have more than 8 high digits in the ring without being forced to put into 2 adjacent cells 2 high digits, how could 8 be here? Then even if that only appeared 7 times overall in circles, it would still appear 6 times in purple plus indigo combined, which means 3 times minimum in indigo. So we'd have 3 8s in indigo, we'd have 4 9s in indigo, and we'd have at least 3 7s in indigo. You couldn't keep them apart. So this is not an 8. Oh, and that takes all the pressure off, because now it doesn't matter what that middle digit is, because it's not got the same entropy as 9. Ah, oh, this is gorgeous. Right, different point. 7 doesn't appear 8 times. Oh, that's beautiful. That's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, 7 doesn't appear 8 times in the circles, because if it did, it would be occupying exactly the same subset of cells that the 9s are occupying. I.e., if it appears 8 times in the circles, it's appearing 4 times in purple, which you could do, but it's appearing 4 times in here, which means it would be in those, and those. And the only way you can do that is if you keep the 7s and the 9s apart, because you couldn't put them in 2 adjacent cells by the rules of the puzzle. So these cells, these would all be the 7s and the 9s. And the problem with that is Sudoku. Because imagine, well, is it clear? Imagine this was 7. Where are you putting 7 in the middle box? It doesn't. The only place for 7 to go in the middle box is in the central cell, where it can't go, and the only place that 9 could go in the central box is in the central cell, where it can't go. We know the central cell is even, and even if it wasn't, we could only put one of 7 and 9 in it, so it won't work. It won't work. So what we've got to do, is we've got to go back, because we know that the 9s are fixed. We know this can't be 8. That's got to be 6 7s. I don't know why I've got green there. What did that mean? Can't remember. Still not that easy. So So now, now where are we up to? I don't know. What's the new maximum for these cells? It's 14 and 12, which is 26. Oh, that's gorgeous. I'm going to get a digit. It's taken me a while. I'm going to get a digit. Yeah, because now where we are is if we add these digits together at their maximum size, which means this would be a 6 rather than a 4, those cells, which are the maximum number of circles that can be occupied by odd digits in the puzzle, would sum to 26, which means that this even digit has to give us at least 7 circles in order to get to 33 overall. Well, how can we do that? Yeah, in fact, we now know how the puzzle works. This is a 6. I'm actually going to put it in. Let's hope. Okay, it did clear fog. This is a 6. It's going to appear 7 times in the circles. This is the 5 is going to have to appear 6 times in circles because we have now actually reached equilibrium. We need all of those maxed out to get to 26, and we need this to be a 6 appearing 7 times to get to the 33 we need. So okay, so let me just try and get my head around this before I delete my aide-memoire. So everything's maxed apart from the 9 appears 8 and the 7 appears 6. Everything else is maxed. I think I can remember that. Okay. So that means this is a 6 appear, and that gave us a 7 here. And the 7 we just worked out is appearing 6 times in the circles, which means it's appearing 3 times in indigo. And it's not appearing in those ones or that one. So, okay, so this is really hard to show you, but let me just try and draw a line to show you. So what I'm saying is those cells have to have 3 7s in them. And you can see there's sort of 3 Sudoku units applying there, isn't there? There's row 3, row 7, and column 3. So we couldn't put a 7 at the junction because that would be 1 7 in all of those cells, and I could put 1 7 in there, and that wouldn't be enough 7s. So actually, we couldn't put a 7 here for the same reason. So the 7s occupy these positions, which means that this can't be a 7. Because if that was a 7, you couldn't put 9 into that sequence. In fact, it means this can't be a 9 for the same reason, because I know there's a 7 in one of those 3, and it would be adjacent to it. So those are a 7-9 pair. Oh, that's lovely. That's it. Look, now I've got a 7 here. So that's a 9. That's a 7. We get another 7. Oh, that's beautiful, because now I can't put 7 in those. So I've only got one place for 7 left in that bottom thing, which is... I didn't clear the fog, but it was true. It was logically true. Now this isn't a 7, look. And that middle one isn't a 7. So the 7 is in one of 2 places there, which means the 9 can't be in the middle, because it will be adjacent to a 7. So this is a 7-9 pair. The 7 here means neither of those can be a 9 by entropy rule. The 9 here means this can't be a 9, so this has got to be a 9. Oh, bobbins! Okay. I don't know how we do that then. That's a bit distressing, isn't it? So Right, we've got a 7 here. That's preventing, oh dear, there's a siren outside. That's preventing a 7 going in this 2x2 in the corner, but we know that there are overall, in purple, there are 3 7s. So there is a 7 in there, which now must be in one of those 2 cells, which means neither of these can be a 9, because the 9 would be adjacent to the 7, so the 9 is there. And there must be a 7 in here by exactly the same logic. And there must be a 7 in there by the same logic. So the 7 in there is in those 2, so these are not 9. 9 is there, so we're going to get the 9 in box 9 as a result of this. Didn't clear the fog again. Rotten thing. Oh, that's so annoying. By the way, Rosie, this is fantastic. This is a fantastic puzzle. So, is there some way we can... Is there some way we can do more here? We could argue that... I don't know. I'm going to have to think about the other numbers, aren't I? Oh, I've got to put... Well, I've got to put 7 6s in the grid, so there's still 6 6s to go into the Phistomefel ring. Right, so let's just change tack slightly then. So in terms of 6s, the 6s have to appear 3 times in purple and 3 times in indigo, and this can't be a 6. So the 6s are appearing in those 3 Sudoku units, row 3, row 7 and column 7, the 3 6s. So again, we can't have a 6 at the junction, because that will prevent us from putting enough 6s in. So, that's done it. Sorry, I should have seen this before. So I do need to put a 6 in here. This can't be a 6. These are a 7-9 pair, so that is a 6. Yes. Yes. Okay. Now, right, so let's tidy some. So there must be a 6 in one of those using my logic, and there must be a 6 not there, but in one of there, or there, not there now. That's okay. So we're going to get a better pencil mark. We can put a 6 into one of those 2 cells. This can get rid of my pink line now. We got a 5 for our troubles. But let's stay with 6s, because there had to be 3 6s in purple, and there's no 6 there. So there's a 6 up there, a 6 down there, and a 6 over here. And 5 had to appear 6 times in circles. So it's also got, its congregation is a little different. It's those ones then that have to contain 3 5s. Again, without being able to put it in the corners as a result. So the 5 in box 4 has to be there. It has to be. Didn't clear fog, but that logically that must have been correct. No 5 there. So okay, so I've got a 5 6 pair now in box 6. And I know these cells, well, they include 5 6 and 9 now, so they're a 5 6 9 triple. Right, and that's beautiful for us, because if these are a 5 6 9 triple, the 5 and the 6 have the same entropy, so we can't put them in the middle, because they will touch either the 5 or the 6 on the left or the right of them. So that middle digit is a 9. I didn't clear fog, but I think that's logically correct. Bobbins. Okay, so 5 has to appear 3 times in the purple digits. It's not in those, so it's in those. It's in these. I see. And it's going to be in those. Right, so that collection there is 5 6 7 9, because we've got 4 different digits pencil marked into those. So 5's come out of there, 7's come out of there, 9's come out of here. And we're still going to have to be careful here about making sure the 5's and the 6's and the 7's and the 9's aren't adjacent at the end of the day. 5, 6, 7, 9 here as well. So these are 5, 6, 7, 9. Those are not 7. These are not 9. So these 2 can't be 5 and 6. So one of those is 7. Oh, bother. It must be okay, and this one can't be a 5 or a 6 because it would be adjacent to its friend in one of those cells. So there's a 5, 6 pair now in box 9. But I've got circles that okay, so the circles I haven't done are going to be 1s and 3s, aren't they? Because everything else I've thought about, and there's got to be 4 3s in circles. So there are 2, right. So there are 2 3s in the Phistomefel ring. Well, I can't put them both there. That won't work. So that's got to be a 3. This has got to be a 1-3 pair because there's got to be 2 1s in the Phistomefel ring. So there's going to be 1 in here and then one in a purple somewhere. So don't quite know how to do this, but so I need, okay, well oh, no, this is good. I need 2 3s in purple, but the only purples that can have 3s in them are that one and that one. So there's got to be a 3 in both, and that means, oh, there we go. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight losing its religion. And there goes Mr. Foggy there. Mr. Foggy disappeared from the grid. Oh, that's lovely. Right. Okay, so this is 1. This is 1. This is all odd digits, basically. It's 1, 3, 7, 9 in some order. Can't put a 1 on a 2-cell arrow. That's not going to work. In fact, that can't be a 3 either. Because if that was a 3, the only way of making this arrow work would be to be a 1-2 pair. And that's going to put too much pressure on this arrow. Look, these digits would be from 4 or 5 minimum. And that would mean this would have to be at least a 9, which it doesn't seem to be able to be because of that one. So that's 7 or 9. So neither of those is 7 or 9 because that would be high entropy. So this is a 1-3 pair. So this is 7 or 9. There's a 6, 7, 9 triple in column 1. That 3 in the corner, did that do something for me? 3 is in one of those 3 cells. Or is it going to be arrows now? Is that all we've got to work on? Because effectively it must be, mustn't it? Because we've done... I mean, I could well have missed some Sudoku. Probably have, knowing me. But in terms of... I've basically pencil marked the whole of the Phistomefel ring, and I've tried to do the entropy restrictions. So 5, 6, 7 triple here. There's lots of digits there. 1, 2, 4, 8 into that column. That might be. Is that worthy of a pencil mark? Might be. 1, 2, 4, 8. These can't be 1s because there's a 1-3 pair. So that, right, that's even. That digit's definitely even, but this arrow total is definitely odd. So this has to be an odd digit to make that work. 1, 3, or 1, 3 or 5. Can't be 7 or 9. If that was a 1 or a 3, this arrow couldn't have 1 or 3 on it. Um, 9 is nearly placed in box 5. That 7 arrow can't be 2 5s, so that's either 3 4 or 1 6. There's a 6, 7, 9 triple though in column 1, so that can't be 6, so this can't be 1. It's going to be one of these arrows. We're just going to have to work out that one. I mean, that one can't be 3, 6, but it might be able to be 5, 4, 1, 8, 2, 7. And maybe it could be 2, 7 even. 7. Oh, where's 7 in the middle box? Don't know, but one of 2 places. So if that's 7, this is 2. If that's... you see, that's quite interesting. Whichever one of these is 7, it's going to force a 2 onto its arrow. Because if this is 7, this is 2 by maths. And if this is 7, this can't be 7. So it's going to be 9, and that's going to be a 2 by maths. So the 2 is in one of 2 places. Which feels like it might be trying to tell me something. Okay, I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. Bobbins. What about row 3? I've got 2 pairs there. One's 3. Oh, so these, right, so 2, 4, and 8 are the digits to put into the gaps. I know so little about even digits in general, though. I really know hardly anything about them. I know a little bit about 6s, and they're basically the only ones. Oh, no, that's not right. I was going to say, where's 9 in the top row? And then unfortunately, I realised it could go there. So 9 is in one of 2 places in the top row. Let's just highlight that. 7. 7 can't go on this arrow because the circle can't be big enough. So 7 is in one of 2 places in that row. Let's choose a different colour. 7 is in one of 2 places. 6 could go on the arrow. 6 can go anywhere basically in the top row, I think. Well, not anywhere, but I think it could go anywhere on the right hand side. Wow, goodness me. Right, so I've got to come up with something new here. It's weird actually, because I thought when I cleared Mr. Foggy from the grid, I thought that was just going to be done and dusted, to be honest. If we, how do I do this? I don't know. Is there some easy way to think this through? Where's 6 in this 6, 7, 9 triple? It's down there, isn't it? So these don't have 6 involved in them. So these are really restricted. So now I've got a 5, 7, 9 triple in column 2. Is it something to do with entropy? Entropy only applies in the circles though, doesn't it? So I need to be a bit more... I don't think I can... I think there might be stuff to do in the corners once I resolve them a bit more. Maybe. 7. 7, 6, 9, 5, 7. I don't know. I'm really stuck. Is this obvious? It probably is obvious at this point. Where? Oh. Oh, nearly. Where I was going to say, where's 8 in row 1? And the problem is it might be able to go there, but otherwise it has to be here, I think. Which is sort of surprising. Is it odd digits? 1, 2, 3. If that's odd, then the way you're going to make up its arrow is with a second odd digit and an even digit. So if this is odd, all the odd digits are used in those cells. That would have to be 6. This would have to be 2, 4, or 8. That feels restricted, doesn't it? So why? I think this is going to be a 6, probably. Because if it's odd, that's a 6. And this is 2, 4, or 8. I'm not sure. If that's a 6, then all bets are off, basically. That's a 6. Then that would be a 9. Because you couldn't have 6 and 5 next to each other, could you? Because of the entropy rule. So if that's a 6, that's a 7. I don't think that works. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. No, I am not. I am sure. You can't put enough. You can't put enough even digits in the row. I don't think. Might be wrong. If that's a 6, because this becomes a 9, that becomes a 7. So these two digits here add to 13. An 8 in the row would have to be here. Yeah, this digit becomes impossible. It's really hard to see this, but it is true. Let me just try and show you. If this is 6, because this can't be 5, it has to be 9. And this is going to become 7. And now we've got 13 into these two circles. And obviously 8 in the row can't go on an arrow now. So 8's going to go here. But we've still got a problem in terms of how many even digits have to go in this row, because we've got 8 here, 6 here. We've got to put 2 and 4 in. We can't put them on this arrow as a 2-4 pair because this cell wouldn't exist. But we have to put one of them on the arrow because we haven't got space for them to go anywhere else. So this would be a 2-4 pair, and that would be impossible. That's not easy to see. That is not easy to see. But this is very interesting because because this can't be 6. Now this is odd, and that's odd. So these arrows are going to need one odd digit on them. That's going to have one odd digit. This is going to have one odd digit. That corner digit is odd, and that's all 5 odds in the row. 1, 2 on 2, 1 for this and 1 for this. 2 here, 1 for this and 1 for one of those. So that's all of them. So that's got to be a 6. And now this can't be 5. So that is 7. This is 5. This is 9, and I bet that's going to do some damage. So now that's 5, that's 6, that's 9, that's 5, that's 7, that's 6, that's 7, that's 9 by Sudoku. Nothing more complicated. We've almost done the Phistomefel ring. This is either 2, 5 or 3, 4. I'm sure I meant that can't be 5 actually, because of this 5, 6 pair. So this is either 2, 5 or 3, 4. Now, can I do anything more with this? I can get rid of my green colouring now, I think. The green colouring has proved superfluous, and I'll get rid of the blue colouring. And I will now try to work out what on earth I do next. If that's 2, 5, that's a 1, 3 pair. If that's 5, it would resolve my 5, 6 pair in box 8, I should say. Good grief. I mean, how is this still how long have I been going? Over an hour now. What? I'm sorry, I don't understand at all. I must be able to do more in row 1 or something. So this we decided was odd. So it can't be 3, because that would need to be a 6. Right, okay. That is better than I think. So this is not 2, because that would need to be a 7. So this is 4 or 8 only. So is that in some way meant to provide me with inspiration as to what on earth is going on? Or is it some other arrow I'm meant to... I don't know. I can't see what the next step is here. This is it's infuriating. These are both definitely odd. If that was odd, all those would be even. And this would be a 1 or a 3. Or is it something to do with counts of 1s and 3? It can't be. I've basically done the counting already. 6 is a little bit restricted in box 2. Maybe double click 6s and see if we can see anything clever as a result of that. 6 is in one of 2 places in box 4. No, that doesn't. I don't think that does do it. 5s. Okay, that also doesn't seem to do it. Really? Okay. 2, 5. Okay, let's think this through. If this is 3, 4, does something bad happen in the world? Yes, that doesn't actually. Okay, that doesn't work. I mean, even that's not that easy to see. If that's 3, 4, the problem is that this digit becomes 8 and this becomes 1. And then this is impossible because you've got a 3 on this arrow and a 1 here. So this cell becomes unfinishable. So it's 2 and it's 5, and that's 5 and that's 6. And this is 1 and this is 8, and now we're cooking with gas. Oh, and I get another 3, and that's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion, that's 4 by Sudoku, that's 3, that's 1. Okay, I'm feeling more confident. These digits now are 1, 3, 5, they are 2, 6, 8. So this digit has to be a 4. So this digit has to be a 2. These digits down here have become a 1, 2 pair. So these have become a 4, 8 pair. Oh, and these are going to windmill, aren't they? Yeah, they are going to windmill, look. That's weird. So this digit is a 3 by Sudoku. These digits are a 4, 8. Yes, look at the 4, 8s windmilling around the grid there. And the 1s, 2s don't quite. They do in places, but they don't quite go as far. Okay, this is not a 6. So what? What is going on now? Oh, one of those is a 6. It's that one. Where's 2 in column 4? Can't go in these cells because I've got my 2 pencil marked into one of those, so it's down there somewhere. Now, column 5, shall we guess at that one? 1, 2, 5, 8 into these cells. 1, 2, 5, 8. Now, can we get rid of anything there? I can get rid of 5. Now I can get rid of 2. I've just put pencil mark 2. This is, okay, this cell is 1 or 8. 5 is in the middle box in one of 2 places. And this 9 arrow, this digit here, it could perhaps be 8, unfortunately. Could it be 4? Could it be 7? I don't believe it. I think it could. Can it be 1? No, it can't be 1, so this can't be 8. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 5. This is 4, 7, or 8. 2, 5. And I've got 2 arrows now that are not used. I've got this arrow, but I don't think I know what that is. If that was a 7, though, that would... If this is a 7, it couldn't be 2, 5, or 1, 6. So that would... If this was 7, it would be 3, 4. 7, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 8, 9 in the column. 1, 2, 8, 9. Ah! That's beautiful. Right, that doesn't work. Right, this is not 7. If this was 7, because this would have to be a 3-4 pair, and in the rest of the column I'd need 1, 2, 8, 9, what would I put into these cells? I've got a 2 pencil mark there and a 9 there. These would only be selectable from 1 and 8, and that's a 1 or an 8. So we'd have 3 cells in the box that would all be selected from 1 and 8. That won't work. So this is a 9. Which means this is a 7, which means this now we're cooking. That's 7, that's 2 by maths. So this is not 2, this is not 7. This is not 2 anymore. So the 2 in the column has to go there. That has to be 8. I've still got this one. I've never thought terribly hard about. In this column, I need 9 I can place in the middle box. And I need 1, 3, and 4 into the balancing cells here. So this can't be 3. That one could be anything. That one is probably influenced. Oh, it would be interesting if that was a 3, 4, wouldn't it? That would become restricted. Oh. Wait. No, this is easier. This can't be 1, 6, because this would be 5. If that's a 1, 6 pair, this would be 5, and that cell couldn't be filled. So that is a 3, 4 pair, which is good. That's going to get me more digits. It's going to give me, yeah, okay. So we get a 3 here, a 4 here. We get a 6 here by pencil marking, which gives me my 6 and my 5. This digit's become a 1, so that's 5, that's 4 by maths. 1, 5 makes this 8, that's going to be a something, i.e. a 3. So that's a 3, this is a 4, 4, 8, please. Please, you should be proud of yourself, puzzle, for making, because this is not being easy to solve this, but it does look like it's finally yielding up its secrets. 2 and 1. Come on, don't be difficult now. What's that? 4, 4, 8. What are these? 1, 3? Yeah, we can do that. 2, 8. Boom. Looks right, doesn't it? It really does. Be right. Yes. Wow. That is a superb puzzle. Feeling Rough by Rosie. That was not easy, but was absolutely fascinating. That just with the Phistomefel ring and the middle cell exposed and that rule set, you could place a 6 in the middle. It's bonkers. Isn't it brilliant? It's absolutely brilliant. That is a worldie of a sort of break-in. A worldie. And it didn't get much easier after that. Fantastic puzzle, really fantastic. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and hopefully we'll see you again later on the channel. Bye for now.